Hello everybody, thanks for checking out this video here on G4G on YouTube. Today we are in Marvel Avengers Alliance and we're going to do a little bit of theory crafting about a setup to run counter to what might be an emerging meta in PvP. Specifically a defensive meta. Now, the game is not going to be full screen for the majority of this video or at all because I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between some tabs showing you relevant information. The background music is brought to you by the Crypt of the Necrodancer OST. Not a game I have directly played myself, but is a game a good friend of mine has played and has stated that he likes the OST, so I decided to use it in this video. So, something that happened during Saturday's PvP session for me. I don't remember what I did before I went to bed, but I took an attack to counter a loss before I went to bed. I went to bed and then I woke up and I did my remaining 4. I didn't broadcast it because I was tied up watching a Heroes of the Storm Twitch stream for competitive HOTS. That stream will be resuming today, which is Sunday, for the finals, and then I will personally be back streaming PvP Season 28 starting on Monday. So you see these 4 matches here. Interestingly enough, I want to point out that my defensive team took not 1 but 2 draws. Not just 2 draws, 2 draws in a row. I don't know what the fuck happened here. I have not seen a draw in an eternity. I mean, so yeah. Before I went to bed, I did this Drinner one to counter this Semiporta. Fermi La Porta. Battle over here. So I did these 4. Let me tell you, I know these were in gold, and these were a they were basically non-threats. All 4 of these, and I kid you not, Victor Burb teams. Victor Burb, Victor Burb, Victor Burb, Victor Burb. I was like, are you serious? Like, what? So, because of that scrapper suit, this might become the team du jour. As you can see here, this guy happened to be running a lightning rod, which you can buy in the store. This guy over here, Punisher, he was doing some electricity stuff over here too. He was kind of going off of ozone over there and then crackle and ionize. But all of this was Victor Burb, Victor Burb, Victor Burb. Now down at this level, not threatening. This guy didn't appear to run agent gear that supplemented it, but he was Victor Burb. So I started thinking, man, what happens if this becomes the emerging defensive meta over here? We definitely saw Victor Burb pretty often in the last few seasons. More specifically, one's Burb, or Thors, the Thors god of thunder, horse god of thunder, got his ISO from that relatively recent heroic. And of course now Victor, he's going to be getting one too. He gets one off of the Chase and Victor heroic against Thor. It's entirely possible with the scrapper suit, with Electro, with Victor Burb, we're going to see an electricity based meta. So what can you do to counter it? Fortunately, there is actually a lot of stuff in the game right now that can help you counter it. One of the things is not in the game yet for most people, but you can go absolutely balls out ham and get them. Electro. Very weird thing about this, you'll discover this in this video. To run counter to the electric meta, you actually do an electric meta. This is a really hysterical thing. This is like saying, it's so cold outside that in order to be warmer, I'm going to make it colder. Like, my nipples are hard, it's so cold outside, but in order to fix it, I'm going to make it colder. Don't ask me, but you'll see what I mean soon. Electro is going to be one of the best things to counter the electric meta because Not only is he going to buff himself from electricity going on around him, he himself takes reduced damage from electricity type attacks. Really nice. Now, I opened 40 lockboxes on Saturday after the task was done in 2 days of PvP. I went 4 for 4, so I'm halfway to Electro. The other counter to the electric meta is our boy Sandman, who got, of course, an ISO recently. That ISO says he protects allies from single target attacks. Well, if you combine this with the Elite ISO, or Big and Fast, depending on how you want to go, he's completely immune to electricity type attacks. In a recent patch from Playdom, a kind of stealth patch, he's no longer actually immune to it per se, he evades it, so he dodges the electric type attack. Does that mean if his dodging is turned off through staggered, is he now affected? I don't fucking know. Playdom smokes crack, so I can't really tell you. So you have Sandman available to you. The other thing, the former Nubian goddess of PvP, Storm. So there was way back when Storm was quite common in the meta. As was this dude over here, Cyclops. Cyclops is actually why combat expertise got nerfed. But anyway, Storm she takes reduced damage from electricity type attacks. When she puts up her shroud, the whole team takes reduced damage from electricity type attacks. Plus, like Electro, she's part of the electric meta herself. So here again is somebody running counter to the electric meta who is electric based. She has an ISO now that says her lightning can follow up with a lightning attack. Because she can be a tactician or a blaster, or her original blaster, which I would not recommend for this. You have to go with the classic Storm blaster or tactician. Because she's a tactician, if she's at 15, she gets a bonus turn in round 2, thereby allowing her to consume one of her turns to do Protective Shroud and then something else. Or you can run Snappy Service, use Protective Shroud as a quick action, and then still do 2 items here. So like in round 1 you open up a Blizzard, in round 2 you activate the Tactician bonus, you Protective Shroud as a quick action, and then can Lightning and Tornado, all in round 2. Tornado, by the way, shuts down infiltrators when they attack you. You see that it applies off balance to attackers, it also absorbs damage, and it refreshes the duration of Protective Shroud. It exploits chilled if it's out, and triggers static charge. So she's very embroiled in the meta, even if she's running counter to it. Storm, believe it, Omega Sentinel, she actually has a bit of a bonus to it too. And so does Bishop. If we go over to the wiki, we see Electric Isolation. If we look at Electric Isolation... Oh, no, that's the negative Omega Sentinel. That's the villain. Sorry, Omega Sentinel has nothing to do with it. However, Elemental Mastery, which belongs to Storm. Energy Manipulation, which belongs to Bishop. So this is reduced damage. Form of Sand, that's Sandman. Mistress of the Elements is Storm. Thunderwatch, more on that in a moment, belongs to the Agent. And then Weather Witch, Protective Shroud. Interestingly enough, and I see nobody trying to pull this off, but back a few Spec Ops ago, Instruments of Darkness, as you can see over here, there was a Dark Elements ISO that dropped. This was the Spitfire Spec Ops. The Dark Elements ISO says that any of the elemental type attacks, including electric, will apply Soulfire and Death Frost. That's crazy. I never see any Victors or burbs trying to pull that off. Maybe nobody dropped it or nobody realizes it or what, but I don't know. It's out there. Somebody's got to try to pull that off somewhere. So the Thunder Watch, how you get the Thunder Watch is a piece of agent gear that I have actually a ton of these, as you'll see. The Thunder Strike Hammer reduces damage from electricity type attacks. Chance to counterattack electricity attacks or enemies with static charge. So again, this is part of the electric meta, and it runs counter to the electric meta. It's fucking crazy shit. We're going to fix the cold by making it more cold. And the other thing is, of course, the Scrapper suit itself helps with the electrical meta. Again, not only is it part of it offensively, but it runs counter to it. Because the Faraday suit says you're immune to harmful electric effects. Crazy. Using electricity to fight, it's no joke, it's fighting fire with fire, just substitute electricity. So, there are some of the team ups you can do. Now, what I would suggest, if you are going to run Sandman and have him tank for you, if you have the Force of Life Blade, combine this with the Lunacy and shut down infiltrators the moment you can. Here's what you can do. Get the Scrapper Infused Tech Suit, slot the Black Widow Age of Ultron ISO in here so that single target attacks are stealthy. Use the Lunacy as a quick action, and then pop Victor with the Force of Life Blade. If you don't miss, what'll happen is now Victor can't be stealthy, which means Sandman can tank him effectively if you have that ISO for him. Notice, enemies with Madden gain Crazed, removing stealthy from most attacks. So the Lunacy puts the person maddened, and then popping them with the Life Blade will... Why did that happen? Why did that move? Popping him with the Life Blade will make him non-stealthy, which means Sandman will be able to detect him. End of story. Now, there is some depth in all of this. There is some play to all the setups you can do. You'll notice here I have the Lightning Strike and the BFF. The Lightning Strike gives me strengthen, which makes the BFF have my friends join in on the attack. If you have the Scroll of Aknazak or the Hair Trigger ISO, or both, and you're like, you know what, Napalm, everything you've said is great. I understand it, but the team sounds slow to me. They might counter the electrical meta, but I don't like their application if it's not Victor Burb. You're not going to run into 50 Victor Burbs back to back to back to back all season. Give me something more fun, more universal. I got your answer right here. Star-Lord. You're like, huh? What the shit does he have to do with electricity type stuff? Well, the answer is Sandman loves Rising Up. Who better to give you Rising Up than lots of... Oh, by the way, this is electric. Funny that. This is electric too over here, and again, some part of the electric meta, running counter to the electric meta. Here's the thing. Star-Lord will constantly be spamming Spray and Pray for your team, giving you Rising Up if you're making him join in through the Strengthened BFF combo, or Trick Shot and Quantum Leap are creating follow-ups because of the Hair Trigger ISO. So, if you have the Scroll of Aknazak, you will seal in not only the strengthen that your agent gave you as a guarantee, but any other buffs that Spray and Pray gives you, the Scroll of Aknazak will seal it in so it can't be removed, which means Sandman is gonna love you forever. Sandman over here is gonna love you off of his hammering blow. The other douchey thing you can do is if you run this team and you're making Sandman get all these extra attacks, put Pulp Me on his pound and he's off-balancing infiltrators. He's cornering protectors other than the elite ISO. He's making them bleed. The other thing you can do for more Mega Douche is on gathering sand, give him the aware ISO. And, well, you could give him the blessed ISO and heal him. Or you can give him the aware ISO over here, which means he gets combat reflexes, which means he's gonna counter with his pound. So you can make him stack his grit like crazy. You can make him get his finest hour buffs like crazy. And you can seal them in if you have the Scroll of Aknazak. Conceivably in a round, he could very easily be up to 5 stacks of grit and either one-shot somebody or really mess up the team by equipping the erupting ISO over here, and then he's pressure pointed everybody, he's blinded everybody, he's consumed his grit for massive damage. Yeah, really, really good things you could do with Sandman right now. He's in a phenomenal place if you choose to do it that way. So there's a lot of depth. Again, if you're not running Star-Lord or he's too low, you always have the Neurotrope. The Scroll of Aknazak, hopefully you got when it was on sale recently. Oh, that's why Misty got done training. So again, like, if you don't have the Scroll of Aknazak, it's fine. Star-Lord, under these circumstances, is going to be spraying and praying a lot of your buffs back constantly. So even if they get Black is Voided off or scrolled off, it's very easy to start reapplying them again. And if you have Strength in the BFF or, you know, things like that, you're going to guarantee the strength in your Sandman's going to hit like a truck. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you get a nice idea what might run counter to the electricity meta if you're facing it too much and having too many issues with it. And honestly, the Star-Lord Sandman team just sounds like a phenomenal PvP team to begin with, so I like the idea of that one. Hope you enjoyed the video. The PvP stream will be back on Twitch starting on Monday for Season 28. I'm skipping Saturday and Sunday of this weekend, only because of the Heroes of the Storm competitive streaming. So I will be back Monday. Look for me over on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter and follow me on Twitch, and you'll get the notifications when I start broadcasting. Hope you enjoyed the video, everybody. Take care.